Hi, my name's Marissa, and this is the story of how my husband handed me divorce papers, thinking I'd beg him to stay. He thought I was weak, that I'd shrink. But he didn't know the house he lived in was mine, or that I built a company behind his back. When I signed those papers, he cried harder than I ever did. How does a marriage end in silence, manipulation, and a sealed envelope on a breakfast table? How does a woman like me get erased by her own family and still rise? Would you stay if the man you married planned his exit before giving you a chance to speak? It was a Sunday, the sun warming the kitchen countertops I'd wiped down hours ago. I'd been up since 6, prepping a roast, chopping vegetables, setting out the cloth napkins my mother gave me when I married. They were cream-colored, embroidered with my initials, my only initials, since I never took his name. Wendell never noticed. The house smelled of rosemary when Delphine, his mother, walked in, trailing perfume and judgment. She inspected my spotless home like a hotel suite. Wendell followed, laughing at her quip. They didn't say hello. I smiled, as always. Lunch was on the table by 1, as Delphine liked. She took the head chair, mine when alone. Wendell sat beside her. I poured iced tea, filled plates, ensured the butter was soft. I asked if anyone wanted extra dressing. No one answered. I was thinking we could take a weekend trip by the lake, I said gently. Silence. Delphine dabbed her mouth, turned to Wendell. A lake trip sounds nice. Marble Falls cabins are beautiful now. Great idea, Mom, Wendell said. My words vanished. I laughed softly, but inside, I was dissolving. It wasn't the first time. Months earlier, I saw the church's donor list. Wendell's name was under gold tier, below his parents'. No mention of me, though I wrote the check in memory of my father. No one asked. After lunch, Delphine didn't help clear plates. I stood by the living room as she and Wendell admired the sofa set I'd bought with my aunt's wedding gift. I always knew this style would work here, Delphine said. Glad you listened, Wendell. He laughed. Mom's got great taste. This room feels like her. My breath caught. I didn't marry a man, I married his mother's monument. Everyone called Wendell the perfect husband. He helps around, they'd say. They didn't see the dishes I washed, the bills I paid. He hadn't cooked since our anniversary a year ago. Delphine called herself helpful, bringing banana bread and rearranging my kitchen cabinets for flow. I'd spent months perfecting them. I said nothing. That night, alone at the kitchen table, my hands shook. My family always called me sensitive. As the youngest, I was told to compromise, keep peace. Pride is expensive, silence is cheap, my mother said. But what if peace was choking me? I put away dishes, moving slowly. Wendell was upstairs watching sports, silent since Delphine left. I passed the staircase to our bedroom. Our wedding photo hung above the bed, my smile fake now, too wide, too white. Reaching for a sweater, my hand touched a sealed envelope in the nightstand. Cream-colored, no stamp. Heavy. My fingers hesitated. My heart didn't race, I knew. I sat on the bed, staring at it for 20 minutes, hoping it'd vanish. It didn't. I opened it. Inside, a divorce petition, signed, dated, Wendell's name in ink. My name, Marissa L. Nguyen, waited blank under respondent. Financial sections were unfinished, like he'd fill them after I begged. I flipped pages, wondering when he'd planned this. That quiet Tuesday? The 3 days he didn't speak after I mentioned my Denver consulting gig? I felt insulted, not afraid. He'd written me out before I knew he'd picked up a pen. I said nothing, tucked the papers in a manila folder, and locked them in the safe behind my books. Maybe he wanted me to find it, to scare me silent. He'd weaponized silence before. 2 years into marriage, I confronted him about his tone in front of Delphine. He didn't shout, just ignored me for 3 days, left dishes in the sink, blared the TV to drown my shower sobs. When I apologized, he kissed my forehead, glad we're back to normal. His silence, my apologies, a perfected script. But this time I didn't cry. I cooked dinner, cleaned, lay beside him like nothing changed. Something had cracked. Next morning, the doorbell rang. A brown paper bag on the step, Delphine's note, for rye, no spice. Don't let Kelly eat it. Not even my name. Inside, labeled containers, meatloaf, her famous casserole. I used to pretend it was sweet. Wendell came downstairs, sniffed the casserole. Smells like childhood. He took a bite. Still better than yours, he said, mouth full. I held my coffee, silent, listening to him scrape the container. That evening, I ate leftover stir-fry while he played video games. Delphine called twice, he answered, smiling, glancing at me like I wasn't real. The house was quiet but for game explosions. I thought, if this house burned, would I miss it? The honesty startled me. The dining room paint, the light fixtures I chose, they were just walls now. That night, as Wendell snored, I retrieved the envelope, read it under the desk lamp, circling words, petitioner, respondent, irreconcilable differences. He thought I wouldn't respond. But I wasn't the woman who cried in the shower anymore, quieter, stronger. I locked the folder away. Not yet. Soon. In the morning, I brushed my hair before the cracked mirror, whispering, "You wanted me quiet. You got it. Don't confuse quiet with weak." Delphine texted, "You should have learned by now, sweetheart." I smiled, dangerous. I'd leave smart, invisible. But Wednesday night, loneliness crept in. I called my sister, Isolda, the golden child who married a dentist. We hadn't spoken in months. She answered, distracted. "Is this about Wendell again?" "I just need to talk," I said. "Mari, I can't. Journal or something. You chose this." She hung up. I was 10 again, at the dinner table in Garland. Isolda's report card earned praise. I passed the butter. "You're better at support," my mother once whispered. Not cruel, just fact. I filled the kettle, poured tea into my chipped blue mug Wendell called trashy, and stared at the steam. I typed a message to my mom, "Rough day. Wanted your voice." I erased it. She wouldn't understand. Her last voicemail, "Your sister's marriage works because she lets go. Don't be intense, baby." Wendell hadn't spoken meaningfully in weeks, leaving messes, shrugging answers, orbiting separately. My mother thought I should be grateful. Keep peace. Smile through choking. I opened my notebook, usually for grocery lists, and wrote, "I have no rescue. I am my own." I've lied for him, protected his image. Not anymore. I drew a line. I play dumb, but I'm not. I disappear first. Then I hit back. Clarity, not anger. I closed the notebook, hid it, drank cold tea. Wendell slept on the couch, controller in hand. I looked at him like a stranger. In the bedroom, I pulled a worn paper from the filing case, "People who won't be notified." I struck Wendell's name. He was preparing war without telling me. 2 nights later, dusting baseboards, I found a shoebox under the bed. Inside, a folder labeled Plan B finalized divorce documents, Wendell's signature, dated 5 months ago, around my Denver gig. My line was blank. A checklist, move out. Take truck. Call mom. Transfer savings. Rent temp apartment. Let her cool off. She'll come back. Logistics, not betrayal. Intention. I sat, knees aching, then hid the box deeper. Wendell was in the kitchen, humming, making eggs. "Want some?" "No runny yolks," he said. I smiled. "I'm good." "You sure you're not upset?" "You're quiet," he said, eyes on the TV. "Just tired." He didn't push. He never did, unless he controlled the fight. Delphine texted, "Sunday dinner, boys only." I checked the family group chat, I'd been removed. My birthday, ignored. My thank you texts, unanswered. I was being erased quietly. That night, Wendell whispered into his phone, "She's losing it, Mom. Give it time." Emotional as usual. My throat tightened with fury, not tears. I noted it, documentation. Next morning, while he was at the gym, I opened my laptop, tea cold, and researched legal blogs, women's testimonials. New document, prep. Hire attorney. Move savings. Copy everything. Act normal. Don't confront. Wendell returned, kissed my cheek. "You're up early." Felt like cleaning. He turned on ESPN. I checked the safe, touched the folder, a ritual. That night, in a private browser, I searched, "Best female divorce attorney in Austin." Discreet. My reflection in the screen was clear. I'd write my name where it mattered. Saturday, Wendell cooked eggs, bacon, set a mug like mine. Charming, almost. He slid an envelope beside my fork. No pressure. Just in case. Crisp, deliberate. I said, "Thanks," and tucked it in my handbag. "I'll look later." He chuckled, thrown off. "I knew you'd get it." I like to be prepared. Prepared. The man who forgot bills was prepared with divorce papers. No rush. "You're not going anywhere," he said. We acted through breakfast. He talked weather, I nodded. He laughed at a meme, I smiled. I gave nothing. That evening, at the sink, I said, "Wendell, if you submit those papers, be ready for what comes." He laughed. "What, the couch? Know what you're offering. You won't do anything. You love the life I let you have." I walked away. He thought he held the leash. I'd slipped it. That night, I added to my hidden notebook, May 6th, received envelope, confirmed intentions. Brushing my hair, I whispered, "Last time you play small." 3 years ago, he'd grimaced at my pasta dish. "You're lucky I put up with this, Mari." Every dismissal traced to that belief, he was doing me a favor. I was done choosing fear. My folder grew, deed, financials, organized. I noted, he escalated. I warned. Next time, no warning. 3 days later, I sipped coffee, waiting. Wendell watched reruns. The doorbell rang. "Get that, babe," he called. "A process server, Mrs. Nguyen?" "Yes." "Documents for Mr. Hartman." "He's in the living room." "Mr. Hartman, you've been served," the server said. Wendell stood. "What the hell?" "Notice to vacate, proof of ownership," I said. "This house is yours?" he asked. "Not community property. Bought before marriage, under an LLC." "You thought we'd split everything," I said. "You never asked." "You're kicking me out?" "The law is." He paced, called unanswered phones. I opened curtains, letting in Austin's breeze. At 3, Delphine stormed in. "You've lost your mind. This is our family home." "It's my property," I said. "Bought before marriage. I paid everything. Title's clean." "This won't look good in court," she snapped. "I'm here for truth." "You'll ruin him?" "He ruined himself." "You have 72 hours, I said. Unless you want an officer." "You're ungrateful," she hissed. "I welcomed you. You controlled me." She slammed the door. Wendell stayed in the bedroom, rereading the notice. I said nothing. On the porch, I sipped tea, remembering 4 years ago, fireflies, Wendell's blanket, a kiss. The last time this house felt mine. Now, it was a structure. I'd moved out emotionally years ago. Sunday, movers arrived. I stayed upstairs. Delphine sighed dramatically. At noon, 2 duffel bags sat on the lawn. Wendell yelled into his phone, Delphine cried on the steps. I closed the blinds. They thought they owned me. They didn't own the floor they stood on. 2 weeks later, silence. I moved furniture, painted, repotted plants Delphine hated. Then a notification, Maven House tagged in viral reel. My company, sleek pans, minimalist utensils, quotes about independence. Headline, Marissa L. Nguyen, founder and CEO. Viral overnight. Women cheered, single moms, divorcees, those tired of cooking as duty. Wendell's Facebook post, some build empires on manipulation. Delphine's, pretty branding hides rot. I didn't reply. Loretta sent documents to a journalist, my deed, business registration predating marriage, Wendell's mocking texts, Delphine's jabs. The article, she built it without them. Facts dragged Wendell. Comments flipped. Delphine's post vanished. Wendell's too. Delphine emailed, the media paints Wendell a failure. Your success came from our stability. Share for his sake. I forwarded it to Loretta, entitlement. Wendell's interview flopped. The interviewer asked, aren't you the guy evicted by the Maven House CEO? He froze. No hire. I sat on my porch, chai warm, watching the sunset. Peace came from truth outlasting lies. In Bishop's office, he slid documents over. You've won, Marissa. I signed, Marissa L. Nguyen. 10 years gone in an hour. I left a note, no anger, no fear, no return. Outside, I ate a croissant slowly, acknowledging, not celebrating. Wendell opened his mail, divorce decree accepted. TX 486122. Loretta's friend heard shouting, glass breaking, silence. Delphine said, you shouldn't have let her read those papers. They thought I'd fold. I filed. In Denver, Maven House's showroom opened quietly. Me, Loretta, Jolene, women who emailed, you gave me permission. No speeches, just my pans, my spoons, my vision. I toasted, to living without erasure. Loretta clinked, you outbuilt him. The glass storefront read, Marissa L. Nguyen, founder and CEO. I touched it. A return, not rebirth. A month later, Wendell texted, you were stronger than I thought. Happy? I replied, you never knew me. That's why you lost me. I deleted the thread. In my closet, my mother's letter, never shrink. You are enough. I wept, not broken, but whole. I framed it by my door. A compass. I drove to Garland, saw my childhood home, same brick, taller tree. I whispered, I left unfinished. Closure. In Denver, my showroom thrived. My team ran on respect. Evenings were mine, music, barefoot dancing, plants watered. Some nights, his absence lingered, a habit, not love. I'd touch the frame, healing is living well despite memory. Outside my storefront, women whispered, she's the one who left him. One smiled, you reclaimed you. This wasn't divorce or revenge. It was return, to the woman who danced loudly, loved deeply, refused to shrink. He tried to break me quietly. I rebuilt louder, holding my own hand, because I could. Strength can be silent. Marissa didn't scream. She planned, endured, walked away high. This is about reclaiming identity when others write your story. Have you been underestimated? Rebuilt from silence? Share below.